All right, so more MK reviews. This is actually the third time that I'm reviewing Goro. I know this is the first time you're seeing me do it, but I've recorded this already a few times. And I kept having negative things to say about Goro, and I don't want it just to sound like I'm complaining about Goro. So I'm looking at him, 4 hand size, 40 vitality. So I'm going to go over the negatives, and then we're going to look at the positives. So the negatives are 4 hand size. Okay? If you're blind drawing from your deck, it can be unreliable. So if, let's say, turn 1, you brick on that draw, that's going to suck. If after you cycle your deck and your discard pile back into your deck and you brick on the draw, again, you're still a 4 hand size. That's going to be a problem. You're also going to be limited to how many cards per turn you play because of that 4 hand size. It's going to take you a while to set up. All right. Other negatives. The E to discard the top 4 cards of your deck is only during your attack. I wish it was on any attack so that you could just mill 4, but it's not. That might be a little bit too strong for Goro. I don't think so. I think he could have used it. But again, we'll see. The first form, flip a foundation, shuffle your hand into your deck, and then tutor 4 from your discard pile. It can't be canceled, thank goodness, because he'd be unplayable otherwise. The other thing about Goro is that his kit has a lot of stuff that wants to flip for cost. And I don't know if you want to be doing that at the same time as first form flipping things. I don't know if eating too much of your staging area is bad, or if you want to use that just to set up so that you can pass more stuff so that each one counts as 2 for your static, and you're more concerned about just passing your own checks. But that also doesn't feel nice, because if I'm trying just to pass my own checks, like, that's not a good situation to be in. But those are kind of the negatives of Goro. But let's talk about positives. All right, let's look at, okay, we're going to build Goro. What do we want to get out of him? How are we going to make this work? What does Goro want to do? All right, so looking at the first static ability, your face down foundations count as 2 foundations when passing checks to play cards. What this means is that as you're using a resource, so you're flipping your foundation as a soft cost. Then when you commit it, you're actually getting a little bit more mileage out of it, because now that foundation has another pseudo effect other than just being blank. So that's great. You're adding value to your stage that might be struggling otherwise. That's just a compensation effect. All right, that's all that's really is. The first form flip to shuffle and tutor everything, that's everything for Goro, right? That's how we're going to have to play him. So what I'm going to want when I'm playing Goro is I'm going to want to set up my discard pile as fast as possible. So you're going to need to be able to play an attack and pop that first E just to mill 4 as quick as you can, because you want to get your grave into a good situation where you have options, where you have your lines. So building your deck around very specific plays, very specific opponent counters, various specific pushes, defensive plans, all this kind of stuff. Your draws are going to be crucial with Goro. Your lines are going to be crucial. Lines is in like how you're playing out your turns. Like, all this kind of stuff is really important. How you set up your staging area, you have way more control over that as Goro. So you can do these really convoluted turns. You can even multi-symbol Goro way better than you can multi-symbol anybody else, because you can just pick the cards that you want to play that turn, right? That's what you got to get. So it's like, I just want to play an all turn, so I'm just going to grab the all cards I need to put in my staging area, play those ones, and then keep these ones for defense. Like, oh, I need just these off-symboled earth cards to make Goro function, right? You want to play that stupid Senko card that increases your hand size. Well, now you can, because you can just play an earth turn out of the blue to get that stuff online, and then go back to playing all. You can go back to playing fire, right? Like, these are the kind of things that you're going to have to do when you're building Goro to really get him to go. The E to mill 4 to get +4 damage on everything, you're going to have to watch yourself using this ability, because what you can catch yourself in is where you're milling yourself out, and then you're going to, like, you don't want to cycle before you draw the next turn, before you can use your first form. That's really it. You just got to be careful, and you got to be conscious of that. So watch when you do your pushes, watch how much you're cycling, do all that kind of stuff. Just, he's going to take management. He's going to take time and effort, and you're going to have to think about it. The other thing you're going to have to think about when you're playing Goro is that as a 4 hand size, that the turn 1 draw is going to be so crucial. Your numbers and your ratios for your draw in the beginning are going to be very important. You're not building a deck for a 6-hand size. You're not building a deck for a 7 or even a 5. This is a 4-hand size, right? Your ratios have to accommodate for that. And again, once you can start sculpting, you can do so many more things, but you got to watch that first draw. You got to build those foundations turn 1 so that you're getting cards into your discard pile. Like you almost need to get 4 cards discard pile every turn 1. Just like that's almost what you need to have going on. It's awkward. It definitely is awkward, that turn 1 segue, but yeah, insanely powerful form, insanely powerful. But it's only going to be as powerful as you are skilled. And you need to really grasp that. The amount of effort you put into your deck design, the amount of effort you put in before the games you play, that's going to determine how the games go. 100% with Goro, right? He's going to be the number 1 character for pre-planning. I definitely feel, right? And I want to see Goro succeed. I really do. I remember him so fondly as a child playing him in the old Mortal Kombat games, and he just beat the living crap out of me. I really want to see this guy be the massive, burly, strong man he is. So if you're playing him, and if you want Goro to succeed, please put the effort in. Do the cold draws by yourself with no opponent. Just draw your hands, run through some turns, feel your decks out, work on your ratios, work on what you want, test your attack lineups. Think about how you're going to be delivering your attacks, because again, you're not going to be able to string out huge lines of attacks unless you have, again, you can design decks that work that way because you can set your stage up how you want. But then remember that you need to set yourself up to protect those plans as well, right? You're only dealing with 4 cards every turn. Even though you can tutor to your heart's content, you're still only dealing with 4 cards. So if you want more, you got to plan for that. If you want to do more things, you just got to plan for that. All right. So I wouldn't mind if you guys could send me even some of your Goro stuff that you work on as time goes on, because I would love to see how this guy gets developed. But he's going to be a tough one to play. He's going to be hard to play. He's definitely not going to be an entry level character for people at all, right? He's going to reward strong, skilled players, and yeah, I think he's going to be cool. I think he's going to be a lot of fun for the people that do play him. He's going to be super rewarding, like absolutely rewarding to do these beautiful turns, to have this intricately played game where you're planning, 2-3 turns in advance because you have to, because you're Goro. But I think it's going to lead to some really rewarding UFS playing Goro, but he's going to be hard. So if you're willing to put into work, if you're willing to really do all the pre-planning, do all the deck building, figuring out how your games are going to play against certain opponents, put the effort into looking into what the meta is, especially your local meta, what other people are going to be playing, so you know how to sideboard, how to mainboard properly, he's going to reward that. So yeah, good luck on your endeavors with Goro, but that's kind of how I feel where Goro's at right now.